So here's something that happened the other day. I put this on I put it on um Facebook Live in Whammy, but I didn't actually put it on YouTube. Um and try to make it quick. Basically, I went to Alki Beach here in Seattle, Washington, but I decided to go up the hill because there's a better view. And I went up there and I'm with my lady or whatever. And, as we're sitting there watching a movie, actually in the car looking at the view, some guys pulled up, and she's like, oh, there goes some more people over there. And I was like, yeah, it looks like there's Samoan. She's from Philadelphia. She actually never met a Samoan before. And so, and I told her, I was like, there's lots of Samoans here, and I'm cool with a lot of them. And so she's like, no, they're black. I'm like, nah, they're not. He's Samoan. And she's like, no, he's not. I'm like, man, hold on. So it was dark. It was hard to see. It was like really, it was like 10 o'clock at night or something like that, or almost 10. And so I gets out the car and I walks up to the gate, and they weren't Samoan. Actually, both of us was wrong. They was Asian. He was just big, and and so I was like, "That's a beautiful view, huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, it is." And defensive profiling kicked in. Number one, defensive profiling. These are Asian bloods. I've been in Seattle long enough. I know what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean they're bad people, but they're just led astray, like a lot of people I grew up with. And so anyway, the skinnier guy came up. He's flamed up. He's red up and down. And but I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not really worried about it. So anyway, we're just chopping up a little bit, you know what I mean? And but then they started making moves that I didn't like. The one guy I was talking to stayed basically where he was at, but the other skinnier guy came up and he kind of stayed back behind the dude I was talking to, with his shoulder blade to me, but head turned over, you dig? And then his other partner came around and went on the other side of me, and literally went to right on the other side of me. So now I'm surrounded. Then the thinner guy backed up a little bit. So defensive profiling. Number two, put yourself in the most ready position without escalating the situation. So I took my hand and I grabbed the bottom of my shirt. That's something that I like to do, because I know it won't escalate the situation. They won't think, oh, what are you trying to do? Shoot me? They won't think that. I'm just grabbing my shirt. They don't know what that is. 99% of people don't know what the heck I'm even doing when I do that, or even paying attention to it, because I don't do it like quick or scared, or I just kind of, my hand's already down there and I just grab my shirt, because if it goes down, I just need to lift up my shirt and punch out. And so I grabbed onto my shirt, but then also I needed to do more. It wasn't just put yourself in the most ready position without escalating the situation. It wasn't just my hand grabbing my shirt. I also, because of this movement they're doing, I took a step back. In fact, I want to say I took like 2 steps back. And that way I was able to look straight and still see him in my peripheral, and see the other guy who went to the other side of me out of my left peripheral. And I kept talking to the guy. Now, the funny thing is, my girl's in the car. She's got a gun too, but I'm not relying on her. She's a new carrier, and these guys might not be doing anything. Maybe they're just being super friendly, because he was being crazy friendly. And where I come from, when someone's trying to be too friendly, they're trying to set you up. And so they were being crazy friendly, but they could just be friendly. So anyway, like I said, I had that step back. I can see, everybody, and all of a sudden the smaller guy said, "Oh man, they're closing already," and he's looking backwards. Now, again, being from where I come from, I'm not about to immediately turn my head, because that's a setup. Oh man, look at that dog behind you. What? Where? Bam! I get hit. So when he said that, I took like 2 more steps back, and then I took a quick look back, and I seen that the park people were there, the park rangers, whatever, and put their light, not park rangers, but whoever works for the park department, to close down shop. They had put their lights on or whatever. And I'm like, what? And so the dude's like, what, already? And I looked at my, watch, and I'm like, oh yeah, you got 4 minutes, bro. And he was like, okay, good looking out. And that's it. I got in the car and I walked off. And so, I'm just bringing this up, just putting these situations out there and telling you things that that have happened and I go through, because maybe you don't know about this. Maybe something I just said will click in your head and you'll be aware of it. These things are important to me to put out there, because I know not everyone has had the same life as me. And just trying to spread that knowledge and spread that information. So that's that. And you guys be safe out there. I remember my 5 rules. Defensive profiling: put yourself in the most ready position without escalating the situation. Take control of the situation. De-escalate the situation. And number 5 is the floater. The floater is leave. Let me out.